Hey, welcome to Suitcase Divas. My name is Denise Diobaldi with Redbirds Travel.
I'm Cheryl Garcia with ABCD Adventures.
And today we're talking about having a go bag and what it is and what you do with it. Correct, Cheryl?
Yes, do you have a go bag?
Let's go there. I'm not quite there.
We'll figure it out.
I just mean I don't know what a go bag is. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you said, oh, people with little kids have a diaper bag, that I can wrap my head around. But do tell, what's a go bag?
So what would you call it after the kids are older, or if you don't have kids, and it's a bag you need to carry your stuff in, which we'll get into, but it's not a diaper bag once they're older. So we've called it multiple things, like a car bag. That's our biggest thing, is we have a car bag. But I recently was thinking about some things that have been happening in travel that people need to think about having a go bag, and not just in travel, but at home as well. Like, do you have a go bag for
You know
at
what?
home?
And here's what I think is what's going on here. My go bag is my friggin' purse because it's so huge. I have everything. I have Cholula in there. I have
Yes, you
Band-Aids.
do.
I have Neosporin. I have, I've got hair accessories. I have
Okay, so yeah, you're right. Trying to figure out what we mean by go bag. So when I think of go bag, I think of if I have to leave where I'm at right now, do I have enough? Do I have the things that I need to handle the situation, no matter what it's in? I guess I'm overly prepared. And there's been some times when, especially when traveling with
or
kids and
maybe I'm
without.
severely underprepared.
So let's figure that out. Let's go there and let's figure out how a go bag plays into travel.
Okay.
So let's talk about your airport and your luggage. Do you have, thinking about our our concept here of go bag,
Yes.
how do you think that would relate to airport and travel?
Well, I mean, like I said, so my purse essentially is my go bag, but I have a large purse.
Do you check a bag when you travel usually?
I typically do, yes.
Okay, so in your purse, do you have a toothbrush?
I do not.
Do you have a spare pair of panties?
No.
Do you have...
Who's to say I have any on now?
Well, that's true too.
I'm not into panties.
Well, okay, so do you have an extra t-shirt and bottoms that you can change into if by chance your luggage doesn't show up? Do you have...
I would be fucked.
Yeah, so that would be what your go bag would be for your...
Do you have?
I do. Like in my...
You have a toothbrush.
I do.
And panties?
Yes, because I like my undies. I'm not a commando gal.
I'm not either. I was just fucking with you. I do like undies.
Yeah.
But I don't have an
So
extra pair.
I actually travel with, it's like a book bag. It's I absolutely love it. My kids hate it because it's a regular size book bag, but it's got so many compartments, and when you open the top, it opens wide, and it has like what I would say like an underwire is, so it supports the edge around the book bag, so I can open it wide and reach down and see from the top to the bottom of my bag. Not like a regular book bag where you are zipping from one side to the other and then your stuff tends to fall out. This opens up like a wide mouth bottle at the top. So
Wow.
you can stick your hand in there, and I've got my first aid kit, which usually has your Band-Aids, your what's the medicine? Nausea, your travel med.
Oh,
What am I
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of? What's the word?
I was thinking of syrup of Ipecac, but that makes you honest.
I'm not carrying around the syrup of Ipecac, but I
Well,
am motion
listen.
sickness meds.
Okay.
I've got your Imodiums. I've got your Peptos. I've got your Tylenol. I've got all that. Your Band-Aids. I've got your
Okay.
Neosporin. I've got all that in there. I've got a water bottle. That's where I keep all of our travel documents. I do have my toothbrush. I do have like a pair of leggings and a t-shirt and an extra pair of undies.
Listen, in a pinch, you can just put some toothpaste on your finger and just like.
But where's your toothpaste? If you don't have toothpaste in your bag,
True that.
you have to go buy extra toothpaste. So let's just say you arrive to a location and your luggage is either late or left back at your departing destination or where you were. You now have nothing to get you through the night so that you can either wait for your luggage to get there or until you can go and buy something. So I carry around extra stuff. When the kids were little, obviously I carried around more for them. I don't think when my kids were younger, I don't think I carried around extra stuff for me. I really don't think I did.
I did not either.
But now I do. Like, I show up, I could start the next day with the stuff that's in my carry-on, for sure.
Clearly, I need a go bag.
Yeah, I think when you're traveling and you're checking a bag, your carry-on bag, no matter what it is, needs to have the things to get you through the next day. Always have your medicine in your bag. The other thing, the very first time I flew, my husband and I were stationed in Texas. Our oldest daughter was, I don't even think she was 2 at the time. So we, of course, had the diaper bag. This was also back when every person who had a seat could bring 2 bags.
Right.
And for free.
That's a no-go these
Yeah,
days.
so I packed, we flew from Texas to Virginia, so we each had 2 bags. I had younger than a 2-year-old, my husband and myself, and each of us had 2 checked bags, plus our diaper bag we carry. I always overpack. I'm that person.
Jeez.
It was the very first time I flew. The only thing I carried on the plane was the stuff for our daughter. So she had her diaper bag, all the things she needed. Our luggage got lost. When we arrived, and I never got it back. So all of my clothes were gone. My suitcase got lost. My one of 2, because most of my stuff, my husband had his. We also had Christmas presents because we were traveling at Christmas, but that all made it. But my luggage that had the majority of my stuff in it got lost.
So what did you do?
Thankfully, my mother-in-law had bought me clothes for Christmas. So she's like, you need to unwrap this now. But here's the kicker. Here's what I didn't know. I didn't know not to pack your jewelry. That your jewelry should always be packed in your carry-on. Okay. No matter how big of a jewelry bag you take. And even, I would say your makeup should be, if you have like a very large, expensive makeup, it needs to go in there. Because the airline did not reimburse me for the jewelry that I had in there.
Ooh, goodness.
Which thankfully most of it's cosmetic jewelry because I don't have a ton. But there were some few sentimental pieces that I did not get back because this luggage was never found. This was
like, where did it go? It's got to be somewhere.
Well, this is the segue to another thing because now I will tell you, this bag, I was obsessed with the Looney Tunes. My daughter's nursery was even baby Looney Tunes. And my bag was a big black duffel bag. It was huge. With nothing but Looney Tune characters all over it. It was very unique.
Yeah, like who wants that?
Exactly. No, I agree. I'm that person.
Like, I ain't stealing your Looney Tune
I want
bag.
the stuff that people are going to be like, that's a kid's thing. I don't need all that. Maybe because, I don't know. It disappeared, but it was a couple years later I found that there's a warehouse. And I don't know if this is a airline specific or just in general. I believe it's airline specific. But there was a warehouse with rows and rows of lost luggage or left luggage that is just there.
So how does one go to that place and find their luggage?
I don't know. This was years ago. I'd seen it on like Dateline or something. I don't know, or 2020. I never really thought about it, but it would be nice if they auction that stuff off, like they do. Like,
wouldn't that be illegal?
Well, because they paid me. They did reimburse me for my luggage, so technically, it was, I guess, I got compensated for it. I still would love it back because of the sentimental stuff that was in it, and I loved the bag.
Nobody wants that bag. Give it back to Cheryl for the love of God.
I really would love that bag back because I absolutely love Looney Tunes, and it was such a unique bag. But that's why it's very important to make sure you have your carry-on, like a stuff to take with you to survive the next day. Like if you go somewhere and you want your carry-on to have what you need. For example, this is more recent than my 25 plus year ago luggage loss. I recently watched a video on TikTok of these 2 ladies that went cruising. They flew in the day of. There was a delay.
Which you're always supposed to fly in the day before.
Correct.
That's what they tell us in travel agent world.
And so they flew in the day of, and as we know, lately in the past year or so, the delays have been crazy. Their flight was delayed. I don't remember exactly how many times or what, but by the time they landed, they had such a short window to get to their cruise port that they left their luggage.
No way.
They just walked out with what they had on them, and in their video, they just had like a purse. It wasn't even a book bag or a roll.
They didn't have a go bag.
They did not have a go bag.
Clearly.
So whether your go bag is a book bag, a diaper bag, or a carry-on, when you're traveling by plane, if you're checking the majority of your luggage, I recommend you have.
So what do they do the whole rest of their week?
I don't know. I haven't followed. This was recent. Like, I just saw it. So when I watch their video, I'll follow them. I'll follow up with them and see if they've updated their videos. They might not be back from their cruise yet. But that's terrifying to me, to arrive somewhere.
That's probably like half the cost of the cruise, because you have to buy swimsuits, shoes, like everything. You have to buy everything.
Yeah. Well, not just on a cruise, but if you arrive, at any destination and the majority of your clothing and accessories and you have to restock them, especially if you haven't had insurance. Like, that's another reason why insurance is important. But the biggest thing is be prepared, because usually, I believe, your luggage gets back to you. So just be prepared.
And
have
then,
your go bag.
What do they do with all the stuff they bought on the cruise? How did they fly it back home? Do they buy another
Now,
suitcase?
that's another story, because I watch a lot of, I love TikTok, and I've seen a lot of cruise videos. I saw some people that actually ordered a suitcase. I believe it was delivered to the port when they landed.
All right.
Or when they docked, sorry.
Because they knew they would be buying stuff on the cruise?
Because they needed it, because, they had too much stuff. So they ordered a suitcase to be delivered. Now, my recommendation is, if you have time, go hit up the Goodwill. Go hit up the Salvation Army and grab one of those instead of buying a brand new one. And that way, you're saving money. You're getting some stuff out of, you're reuse, recycle, that kind of thing. So if you do need that, just by the way, go out and get one from a local thrift shop.
Yeah, I'm all about the thrift shop.
Yes.
Thrift shops, yes.
All right, so what about when you're road tripping and you either hit bad weather or your car malfunctions? Do you have a go bag, Denise, in your car?
You know I do not. But I'm going to get one, okay?
So what do you think should be in your go bag?
So here's what I'm thinking. If we're talking like a road trip, because this did happen, and we had to go up to see Nick's family, and we were driving from North Carolina up to Pennsylvania, up on I-80, and it was blizzard, like whiteout conditions, but not just blizzard. So it was ice, and the ice was sticking to the windshield. We actually had to pull over for a bit because it wasn't drivable. So luckily we did have like water and snacks, because it's a long road trip, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I sort of had a go bag, in the fact that we had drinks and snacks and we had jackets, but we didn't have like blankets or the little friggin' things you crack open to make your hands warm or anything like that. But I would think you would also want like a flashlight, or
Yes.
you would want, and these days we do always have the backup cells for the iPhones and stuff. We have
Like
the
a
battery.
portable charger?
Mhm,
Yeah.
exactly. We have stuff like that, but do tell me what am I missing? Like, what else should I have?
So all the time in my car is, like, we call it, my car is a car bag. When we travel, it's like, hey, do you have the car bag? And it's changed as the kids have grown for what its meaning is. Right now, in my car, even though it's summer, I still have my hats, my gloves, pair of sweatpants, blankets, water bottles, which by the way, you should cycle out your water bottles, because especially if you're storing plastic ones in there, the heat.
BP,
yeah.
and
But
EPA
if you're
free.
stuck somewhere,
Don't dump your water.
I know, I'm drinking the water.
Some people drink their pee.
Yeah, which is, I'm not a medical person, but I believe it's, what's the word?
Sanitary?
Sanitized? No.
Ew. There's no way. I'm not doing it.
I don't know.
I'll die. It's
I'm
fine.
not. I've
had a good life. You know what? I'm not drinking
So
pee.
drink the water bottles in your car. I always say, if I'm in an apocalypse, zombie apocalypse, because that's the one I envision, I'm always hitting up the SUVs with the stickers on the back that say like soccer mom or something, because I guarantee you under those seats are water bottles or old things like that. Like that's how we're gonna survive.
McDonald's.
the
apples that have not browned because there's so many preservatives.
Yeah. But when I travel, in our car bag is usually, that's a bag that we take just into the car. It sits in the back seat for everybody to kind of grab quickly. It has all the things we would need while we're traveling. Our snacks, things to keep entertained, usually some travel information, if we've got to pull over, if we've rented a car, it's got that stuff in there so that if something were to happen, the car were to break down or were to get into some type of, God forbid, accident, I can grab that bag and be able to walk or get to my next destination and have the basics of what I need to get help. Because I'm assuming if I'm driving, I'm stateside usually, and would be able to call someone or have... The other thing, have people's phone numbers written down, because I know maybe 3 phone numbers.
I don't memorize. Back in the day, back in the old school day. I'm not talking like rotary phones, but
even
let's say that, because these whippersnappers these days don't even know what a rotary phone is or how to use it.
I've seen those TikToks,
imagine. Yeah, you're a big TikTok girl.
I am, yeah.
So we would used to memorize phone numbers, everybody's phone numbers. But if I had to, I maybe know mine and my husband's, and I don't even know my kids. Like,
I know my oldest. I know hers because she's had hers longer. And she has the same area code. And now our youngest had when she got hers a couple years ago, the area code had changed by then. I can't remember that. But in your go bag, you need to know if you've rented the car, where that information is, who you're going to call if something were to happen, your insurance. If you've rented a car, make sure you have your own insurance card.
Sorry, got a text. That's probably just saying that, everything's cool beans with Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But keep in there things to keep people occupied. Depending on who's in your travel group, you want...
Well, shit, Cheryl. Now I feel severely underprepared.
I always have a small or first aid kit as well.
I do have a first aid kit. Throw me a bone.
Okay. When's the last time you checked? Do you have any?
I never
medicine?
opened it.
So things are probably expired in there. You need to
listen. Band-Aids don't expire.
No, but you should have more. You should have a Neosporin. You should have
that doesn't expire, does it?
Yes, it does.
Neosporin.
It does expire. Now, if you have an expired one, I'd recommend you use it if you need it, but it's not as potent as. Now, here's the other thing.
What else is in there?
I always have Tylenol.
Okay.
I have Imodium. I have Pepto. I have what else do we have in there? Alcohol wipes.
How have I survived my whole life without a go bag?
Like, I tried to think. Now, it depends on where I'm going. If I know I'm going to the woods or camping or out,
I usually bring my wine on if we were ever to get stuck in a blizzard.
Hey, that alcohol can be poured to sanitize a wound.
Take over my Neosporin. I'll just...
There you go. That's better than nothing, I suppose. Just not the really sugary one.
I don't drink sugar.
But I also make sure we have, bug itchy sticks if you've gotten bitten by a bug.
I do have bug spray in my car on the door, not in a to-go bag. What if I have everything I need in the vehicle? Car, yeah. It's just not in a bag.
The way I look at a go bag is if I need to go now,
I see your point.
Do I have what I need? So that's kind of what you would need in your car, in your go bag. Make sure that you just have what you need to get through until help can come.
Okay.
And if you have snacks in there, be aware of where you are. If you are out in the, woods, wilderness area, you have to be careful. Make sure your snacks are
flares.
in.
Do you have flares?
I do have flares.
God, I was trying to catch you off
guard. No, well, flares. I will give you this. Flares actually came with my car's safety kit. So in my car, my car came with a safety kit that has the jack, the flares, and I've opened it. So I checked to see what's in there. I've got jumper cables. Do
flares expire, Cheryl?
They might go bad. I don't know. I've never, honestly, knock on wood, had to use a flare. So.
Mm-hmm. Nor have I.
And
guess what? I don't have them if I needed them. My car didn't come. My car didn't come with that.
Are you sure? Have you checked where your jack is? Exactly. That's where mine was. But on your phone,
living on the edge, people.
And I only know this if you're an iPhone user, you can have a flasher on your phone. So worst case scenario, if it's dark and you need some type of alert, like say your flashers aren't working or whatever, turn your iPhone on strobe mode, I think is what they're...
Strobe mode? Yeah, that sounds fancy.
It flashes... It ding, it just bling, bling, blings. I don't know. I've not had to use it, but I do know you can do that. But what I was going to say about if you have your snacks in your car and you're out, like doing a road trip out in the Midwest or wherever there might be bears, remember, bears can open your car door and they can get in your car and they will come in your car if they smell food. So before you travel out and do that kind of trip, make sure you have vacuumed out those, 2-month-old McDonald's fries underneath your seat because the bears will come and get them.
You're freaking me out.
I am overly prepared when I travel. It is ridiculous.
I haven't even thought about a zombie apocalypse. I'm going to be quite honest with you.
Just to segue, way off, and I won't go into this, but when Brienne she's probably in middle school, she actually gave me a zombie apocalypse survival kit. She made it out of an old metal first aid kit, and she made it with...
Is this when Walking Dead was popular?
I'm sure, because Walking Dead's been around for a while, but we've all been into we're scary movie people, so we've always been into that. And we're disaster prepared.
I like disaster. I like a good, San Andreas Fault.
Yes, so we prepare. So my kids have made multiple. I remember cleaning out Brienne's room one time. She had a book bag. I guess it might have been her hurricane bag. And I found everything stuffed in there that she needed. And there was open jars of peanut butter. Because she's like, peanut butter is better for you than certain things. So I was like, I guess peanut butter is a good protein to have if you're...
Sure, unless you've got nut allergies.
Yeah, that's not so good. But we thankfully did. But my kids even prepare like that. So those are the things you do for a road trip. Now, let's talk about when you're traveling, which we kind of gone off a little bit on other ways to have your go bag. But let's focus back on the traveling. What do you think you would need in a hotel go bag?
A hotel. Oh, in case of like an earthquake or something like that, or if somebody pulls the fire alarm.
Yeah, so even something
you want your
small.
Panties, I'll tell you that.
Yes, you do.
I would think you would want, but I would just grab my purse, honestly, because it's got my license, my money, my insurance. And usually I do keep a bottle of water in my purse.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would be kind of prepared as long as I have my purse, right?
Yeah. So when you go, as we're sitting in my office right now, I'm a clutter bug. I just toss things on tables. And I noticed I did that at hotels. Like we'll toss our keys, our sunglasses, my wallet on the counter when we're coming to the hotel room. And it's not always together. Or if we've gone somewhere where we need to put our passport, we've put it in the safe before.
I can see that.
And obviously when you're going with kids, their stuff's kind of all over the place. But recently, a couple weeks ago when we were, my husband and I were in North Myrtle Beach, the hotel next to us, 6 a.m., fire alarm's going off. It woke us up. I mean, that's how loud it was. I go out there and I see all these people at 6 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot of the hotel. Kids, families, younger, older. I mean, it's a variety of people. And they don't have anything with them.
Like no shoes?
Some had shoes on. I actually have a video we'll post because I was like, ooh, this is I never thought of this before.
Did they have their go bags?
They did not. This is what made me think it was a great topic because, and I remember when the kids were younger, you put their things are all over the place when they're in a hotel room. But the things that you need, there were people with babies and stuff. Where are your keys when there's an emergency like that? It's usually tossed on the counter or the table or the dresser at the hotel. It's not always with your purse. I know that I don't. Mine doesn't always get stuck in my purse.
You do now.
I know. Yes.
You keep your keys in your purse.
This is the thing I was thinking. If you have a car bag, which is what we call what goes in our car when we travel, that has all of our snacks, all of our chargers, all of those things, our important papers or whatever, take that into the hotel and leave it by the door. And this is where you dump your stuff, or put it right on the counter when you walk in, or table. And then that's where you dump your stuff. So if you have to get up and evacuate in the morning, thankfully those people were only out there. I really think they were out there for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And they had small kids. And it was early. I'm sure if you had little ones, you could grab their diaper bag. But I don't know. Some people might unpack their diaper bags when they're at the hotel. Just be in mind that where is your stuff if you have to evacuate your hotel? Or can you find your shoes quickly, or did they slip under the couch when you kicked them off when you came in? Do you have the keys to your car so that you guys can run and go grab breakfast if you have to stay away for a while, or get in there if it's raining or anything like that. So make sure you have a go bag by your hotel or somewhere in your room that you can grab and go, that you
Good
can
advice. Good
keep
advice.
you busy, or keep your kid. That's what I was really thinking of. Us adults,
I
we
need
can
to be
manage.
a little more prepared is what it comes down to. Like, I do not have a car bag or a go bag. I've got my purse. That's what I freaking have. I've got my purse. And it's got a lot of stuff in it, but it doesn't necessarily have all of the essentials.
That could get you through a couple hours of a crisis situation. And crises range from small to big. So that's the thing you got to think about. If what's going to happen, and I over prepare. So I'm like, what can happen here that I need to prepare for? And I'm so not always prepared, because I was not prepared when that alarm went off. Because I just walked out, and if they had been telling me I had to leave and couldn't go back in my room, I was barefoot. I would have been in trouble, because I actually walked out to check to see what the sound was. Was it coming from my hotel or next door? Barefoot like a dummy. And if they said, no, you can't go back in, I would have been in trouble. So that's just, it made me really think that even like in that situation, if we had to evacuate the hotel, all of our stuff was scattered all over the little kitchen counter that we could not have gathered up quick enough to get out.
Well, interesting. So I wonder if, to our listeners of Suitcase Divas, how prepared are you? Do you have a go bag? Do you have a story about what you were missing and what happened, and if you learned to be more prepared the next time?
Yeah, we'd love to hear that. So check out the links that we'll post in soon. And to comment and let us know about your stories, or something that we forgot, a situation where you need, like Denise said, you needed a go bag and you didn't have one, or you did. What did we forget in our go bags?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that could wrap up our go bag segment.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Let's go there.
Thanks, guys.